Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is March the 3rd, 2019. Someone's having a big birthday today. Strong hand, long-term thinking, offended by selling. Yeah, it says strong hand on the shirt. You can get this shirt linked to below, of course. No fancy sets or graphics. Authentic conviction. Personal responsibility is a new counterculture. All right, guys. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. Caitlin Long knows that. She was on the This Week in Bitcoin show on Friday. Check out the archives at disruptmeister.com or techbalt.com, techbalt.com. You can follow me on Twitter at techbalt also. I mean, she was great talking about Wyoming. There are going to be banks opening in Wyoming that will do business with crypto businesses, with Bitcoin-based businesses. That's if you're running a Bitcoin-based business, you're like blacklisted by most banks. Wyoming has made it easy for banks to open in the. They're not going to be fractional reserve banks either. They're going to have the money they say they're supposed to have. Watch the show. Watch all of Friday's show. It is linked to below. Caitlin Long is also linked to below. And she points out that Wyoming, and I mentioned this on yesterday's show, the Beyond Bitcoin show, that was good too. Check that out, linked to below. But she says Wyoming is America's emerging market. And I like that because we hear so much hype about Brazil being an emerging market or South Africa or wherever. And if you're a young person, you don't have to leave the borders of the United States. If you're an American, you don't have to leave the borders of the United States. Just go to Wyoming. Go to Wyoming. Start a business driving people from Denver to Cheyenne. I don't know. But, yeah, spend the summer in Wyoming. If you're a young kid, maybe it's an emerging market. There's a lot going on there. Maybe it's Cheyenne is one of the cities of the 2020s, like Spokane and Boise, that entire region. But Wyoming's got, I mean, watch the show. It's got Bitcoin-friendly laws. She's pumping Bitcoin a lot. It was a great show. And I want to point this out. If you know who Caitlin Long is, and if you know who Simon Dixon is, then you are on the road to Bitcoin elitism, okay? Because there are so many people in this space, so many people involved in the crypto social media land that have no idea who either of them are. And that's just sad. That's just sad. I think it's unfortunate. Now, if you know who one is, that's good. You're on the road. You're on first step in the road, but you got to know who both these people are. And actually, they were the last two guests I had on This Week in Bitcoin, coincidentally. But I talk to a lot of people, and many people don't know who they are. Many people, when people are, I don't know who Simon Dixon is. I'm like, what? You don't know who Simon Dixon is? And you're in Bitcoin, or I mean, there's so much we are flooded. We are flooded with crypto noise, and I mean, again, people in the entire cryptocurrency space, I'm sure the BitConnect promoters are much more well known than Simon Dixon and Caitlin Long, and that just shows you the 80% nature of any aspect of life. So, yeah, if you know who they are, you're in good shape. And let me tell you, right here on this very channel, pound that like button for this channel because I part the Red Sea of crypto noise. And I lead you to the promised strong hand land of the 2020s. If you get guests like this, you learn about who people like that. And it's not just Caitlin and Simon, but they pop into my head immediately. I really I take pride in my This Week in Bitcoin show, the guests that I get on the show. It's not random people. I get people that are up and comers. I debuted Murad before anybody knew who Murad was. And there's other people like that. Zach. People didn't know who Zach was before. Well, some people knew Zach had a podcast. But no, I get smart people in here that you can understand, and you can understand what they're talking about. They're not talking about techno mumbo jumbo. You're not going to get lost with these people. And they're fun people. A lot of them are fun. And those two are just, I mean, they really break it down. And if you, after listening to the Caitlin Long and listening to Simon Dixon, if you're not into Bitcoin, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I mean, they're positive people. And as everyone knows, I'm a very positive person. So when you get us all together, it turns into quite a positive show. It's quite, I mean, the energy that Caitlin and I were like popping off of each other. It was great. I mean, before the show, we were both on fire. I wanted to get that show started as soon and she was having technical difficulties before the show, and we got everything fixed right before. Oh, thank God it went through. So yeah, watch the show. Watch it. And yeah, if you know who they are, you guys are on the right track. You really are on the right track. But you're learning from the right people, and your hands becoming stronger. Because I mean that's something. I mean, Simon and Caitlin definitely, they don't cover the same things, but they both have strong hands. They both talk about controlling your private key, the very basic things, the building blocks of this show and my whole philosophy. They're into also, and most people that I have on the show are into that. I know we have some dissenting voices. Definitely, we do have some different people in here, and they're always fun. And you don't know who knows when they will be back. Some of the people that I get emails about, like, never have them on your show again, Adam. I'm not going to say who those people are, but I think you can guess who some of them are. They're not BTC Benny though, and BTC Benny is in the chat right now. That's awesome. He's obviously been on the show numerous times, and Brian, the UK Big Game Master, is there too. He's been on the show a few times, twice, I think. So yeah, it's good to see content producers who believe in the strong hand in the chat right now. And again, if you're watching this tape, I guess the chat's playing again. So let's talk about another YouTube channel, but it usually doesn't have much to do with crypto. The Joe Rogan had Bill Ottman on, and Bill Ottman is the CEO of Minds. Now it turned into, and Minds.com is a competitor of Facebook and Twitter, or it's a social media platform that doesn't exactly ban people. And well, the video is 2 hours long. Maybe it's not worth watching even at 2x, but they're talking about a lot of different things. But if you have some time, watch it. He does bring up Bitcoin a few times. Bill Ottman, he's into like a little bit of Ethereum too, because he's got a token over there at Minds. But he's very bullish on cryptocurrency, and he wants his site to grow, and they only have 1.5 million users now in Minds, he said. I mean, he's pretty honest. It seems like he's a pretty honest guy, but he wants it to be a decentralized social network, to be as decentralized as possible. Again, I'm glad to see Joe Rogan. He's a popular guy. A lot of 80%ers and 20%ers watch his show, I guess. And so they're learning about crypto. They're learning about Minds.com. Bill Ottman's a good guy. Check it out. Meanwhile, a site that I've talked about before, Market Ticker, by Carl Denninger. Now, this dude, Carl Denninger is a smart guy. I've said on many topics. He's kind of a stubborn guy too, and he does not realize a lot of the times that not everybody has like 150 IQ like he does. I mean, it's no one's perfect. He really doesn't get it that people, not everyone is as smart, even though he knows the bell curve. He still doesn't really. But anyway, despite like probably having like 150 IQ or something incredible, he gets on his. I'm sharing this because smart people can FUD also when it comes to Bitcoin. Okay, and no one's right about everything. And he's got an article that's kind of dealing with Quadriga. And then he gets into a rant about Bitcoin not being private. And it doesn't seem like he understands that, or he doesn't even care about the privacy layers that are being worked on with Bitcoin. And then there's silly comments that are left below by people on the, that just totally don't understand it, that don't understand Bitcoin at all. So it's just something to look at, to see the other side, to see the FUD side, that even smart people, when they see something bad happen to an exchange, they go rant against Bitcoin and go totally out of their mind, but basically talking nonsense about Bitcoin. So look at it yourself. And then the comments, of course, the comments are very reassuring because everybody just follows his lead and, says Bitcoin's terrible. And I'm glad if they don't want to get into it, great. Whatever, they'll look back one day. It's more Bitcoin for us right now. I got an email, pound that like button, by the way. I got an email from Coinbase saying they are listing Ripple. Thanks for telling me that, Coinbase. But everybody already knew that. But they're so proud of it. They got to email everybody. And Udi, who I just saw over at the Tel Aviv Bitcoin Embassy, and I think Udi will be on the show on Friday because Friday will be my last This Week in Bitcoin from Israel before I go back to the United States. Now, again, I will return to Israel. There'll be other This Week, but for this trip, it's coming to an end pretty soon. And 8 days, 9 days, I'll be out of here. Yeah, I leave on the 12th. So we'll have Udi on on this Friday. But anyway, he says this in a tweet. And again, a Coinbase official responds to delete Coinbase by saying they had to acquire Neutrino because their previous tracking provider sold Coinbase customer data to third parties. Okay, so I'm not getting into the whole delete Coinbase thing because I think it's kind of a waste of time. But that's an important factoid right there, that they admitted that their previous tracking provider sold Coinbase customer data to third parties. Not good. That's just not good. But I mean, it's to be expected. And the question is, that provider, that tracking provider, are other exchanges using it? And thus, I mean, all these exchanges, everyone's like, yeah, I'm a member of every single exchange, and who cares if they do know your customer? Well, I mean, it's the more of these exchanges you give your info to, it looks like is probably all sorts of third parties buying that. And I mean, if you're comfortable with that, like, personal responsibility is a new counterculture, but dude, you're going to get tracked up to yin yang. And I don't know. Do you like knowing that your scanned-in driver's license is being sold to people? I mean, that's what it could be boiled down to. That doesn't sound too cool. And so some people are actually having a hard time leaving Coinbase. And it was suggested that you just send money to a place they don't approve of. I mean, you can decide what that is. It's pretty easy to figure it out. They're pretty strict where you can send your Bitcoin to, and they just cut you right away. So that's a way out of it. Anyway, I actually think Coinbase will survive this just fine. I know it's not a popular opinion. I've said the same thing about Bcash. These things aren't going away. It's just they're people that like this kind of thing. They're people that want to buy every altcoin under the sun. We're going to get into that in a second. And there are a lot of people that haven't even smelled the crypto space yet that are going to find Coinbase to just be awesome for them. And they don't care about them selling their information to third party. They just want to get their Ripple or whatever nonsense, 0x or whatever nonsense comes on there next. But that's the direction Coinbase is going in. Okay, you don't have to participate in it. A lot of people aren't participating in it. So when I was over at the Bitcoin Embassy here in Tel Aviv, I learned that the lightning torch, which you've all heard about, some guy in Iran got it. Zia Sadir, or Sader. And apparently he sent it to an Iranian outside of Iran, and that Iranian is going to send it to the Bitcoin Embassy. Now, again, I'll believe it when I see it, but that's quite a gimmick right there. Quite a gimmick. You know, there's Israel and Iran are not on good terms at all, and to have individual citizens sending Bitcoin between the two countries using the Lightning Network would be it's quite newsworthy actually, and it could make some news. It could really make some news if that happens. So, and some people are tweeting about this, so it's a little bit of a scoop. We'll see if it happens. I didn't link to the Bitcoin Embassy yet below, but I will. I forgot to. So if you're watching this taped, check out the Bitcoin Tel Aviv Embassy. They're the one who put on the awesome party, the January 3rd 10-year anniversary party here in Tel Aviv. All right. So in other news, Marty Bent, who's been on the show before, also will interview Jack Dorsey or post the interview on Monday. And I linked to Marty Bent's Twitter below. I also wanted to say the CEO of Minds sort of called out Jack Dorsey a little bit. He doesn't seem be the biggest Jack Dorsey fan. He's like, Jack Dorsey likes Bitcoin for a lot of for some aspects of Bitcoin that Twitter does not have. Basically, I guess the uncensorable aspects. So he thinks it's kind of hypocritical that Jack Dorsey censors, yet he loves Bitcoin for being uncensorable. Anyway, that watch that Joe Rogan video if you want the exact things that the what's the guy's name? The mind Bill what Bill Ottman said about Jack Dorsey. So I'd forgotten about that until I saw Jack Dorsey's name there. Here, Starkness tweeted this out. Here's my honest feedback on computers circa 1970s. They are way too complicated. There's no graphical interface. None of my employees know how to use them. The fundamental structure of computers doesn't suit me at all for my business. Now, again, that sounds so silly. But that's it. That is the way people thought of the computers in the 1970s. You got to be patient with these things with Bitcoin and Lightning Network. And on that same note, here's a tweet from J.L. Pfeffer, and and everything's linked to below, by the way. Map of the internet in 1973. Even 12 years after the first message was transmitted on ARPANET, there were still only 213 computers on the network. Give Lightning What's going on? Did I just go off? Oh yeah, I went off for a second there. Hey, hey, you guys see me still? Okay, I hope you all I hope you all heard me talking about this developing world altcoin guy. Yeah. So eventually all these newbies are going to come in, and the altcoin ICO bubble that we saw beforehand, it will pale in comparison to the one in the future that probably will come in it'll come in the 2020s. Who knows? And that's a big space, isn't it? Yeah, I know it's a whole decade, but yeah, it will be wild. All right. And it's just because I just thought about it on that whole world level about all the non-Westerners that are just going to pile into the cryptocurrency world and how wild it's going to get again. And, right now people think it's boring. Yeah, it's not boring because there's a lot. I mean, this is the time of opportunity for people. All right. But it's going to be insane again. It will be insane again. We're one day closer to 20K. We are one day. Because again, Bitcoin always returns to its all-time high in fiat for all you fiat freaks out there. And I have no idea if I'm still in the air either here, but God, I wonder how long I was off the air for too. If that whole story got cut off, now I gotta watch the whole show. All right, if you guys are watching it, whatever. All right, so what do we have? Altcoins bandwagon. Must stop Murat. I'll save this one for tomorrow. I'll save that one for another day. And the Block Crypto, they have some like paid for. You got to pay for some of their articles, and I don't pay for their articles, but the headline says it all here. Okay, they are not in a hurry, and they want to do this right. Fidelity is kicking off a crypto custody with a soft launch, and kicking off crypto custody with a soft launch. The block has learned that 5 firms are participating in the trial. Okay, that's good. Fidelity, we're one day closer to institutional craziness. All right. So finally, we were speaking about altcoins and developing world and the developing world. Here is a serious question. What is more legitimate? It's like the currency of Malawi. What would you rather hold, like the Malawi currency, or or a top tier altcoin? What's going to do better over time? Have top tier altcoins already surpassed the bottom of the barrel third world currencies? That's something to ponder. That's really something to ponder. And how many people don't even know about that? How many people need to wake up to that fact? And if it is a fact at all. But yeah, I would probably, of course, I'd rather have Litecoin than Malawi currency. Of course, I'd rather have Monero than Malawi currency also. It's just you never hear it. You never hear it that way. I want to see. All right, dudes. I have no idea if I got cut off or what happened here. It looks like it. Yeah, I'm here still. Oh, good. All right, dudes. That was a wild one. I didn't know if I got cut off or. That's live. That's live YouTube for you guys. Pound that like button. Bang that bell button. Check out the links below. DisruptMeister.com. TechBalt. Click on those squares. I'll say hi to you guys in the chat. It is like 1:08. Oh my God. It's 1:20 a.m. here. I should really go to sleep. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Yeah, share it all over social media. I liked my hair today. I really liked it today. All right, I'll see you.